cross-legged, just allow it to be a loose cross-legged position. Position your ears above the shoulders and the shoulders in line with the hips. As you can see from the side. Roll the shoulders, open them back. And be mindful to draw those lower ribs in a little, just a little, to find that length in the spine. As you draw in through the lower belly, you almost feel like your upper body is slightly lifting away from the hips. And draw the hips down away from your rib cage. Find that length through the spine. Either closing the eyes or lowering your gaze down to the air. Become present. Maintaining that posture. Begin to observe your breath. As you breathe in, feel the body sitting taller. And as you exhale, notice the shoulders sinking away from the ears. Allow the mind to become clear. And sitting tall again with good posture, deep in the breath, gently open the eyes. And taking a deep breath in, you can float the arms above your head, interlace the fingers and turning the palms up towards the sky. Feel like you're pressing the palms up, drawing the ribs in and pressing your sitting bones down. So find that length in the upper body. Breathing strongly into the center of your chest. And hold your breath. Last full deep breath in here. And as you exhale, draw the shoulders away from the ears, take the hands down to the mat. Engage the core on the inhale, lift that right arm up to the sky, exhale, holding over to the side. Stretching the right hand side of the body. But also be mindful to keep that right sitting bone pressing down into the earth. So you're kind of pushing that sitting bone down and lifting up from the ribs, finding that nice deep stretch across the side of the body. Last breath here. As you exhale, draw the belly in, look down, inhale, coming up. Return the right hand to the ground as you exhale. Inhale, lifting that left arm up. Sit really tall. Draw the front ribs in as you exhale, coming over towards the right. Pressing down through both sitting bones. Opening your chest to the sky, looking up. Your lower left ribs moving away from the left hip as you stretch the whole of the side body. Expanding the ribs as you breathe. Big inhale. And as you exhale, look down, draw the navel in. Inhale, come back up to center and bring the left hand down. Then tuck your ankles in towards your hips. Roll forwards onto the hands and the knees. Come into your tabletop position. From here, we're going to tuck the toes, draw the navels in as you hover the knees off the mat. Good. From this position, really feel like you're trying to draw your knees towards your forearms so that you're engaging through the core. And then slowly begin to lift those hips up and back into your first downward facing dog. Take time to stretch out through the back of the legs. Relax the back of the neck as you gaze between the thighs. And then make any movements that you feel that you need to awaken the body today. Looking forward towards the hands, draw the lower belly in, and then slowly walk the hands back towards the feet. Stay folded over here. Then take the arms behind the back, interlacing the fingers again. Roll those shoulders open, so draw the shoulder blades towards each other. And then reach your knuckles up towards the sky. Tuck your chin to your chest, scooping in through the lower belly as you fold forwards. Your chest pressing against your thighs. The legs are strong, but the knees are soft. Allow the arms to reach over the top of your head towards the top of the mat. Send your breath to that space between the shoulder blades. Allow the weight to come into the toes. And then soften the knees a little, lower the hips so that your chest rests on your thighs. Release the arms to the floor and slowly walk them to the top of the mat to return to downward facing dog. From here, engage through the core, and we're going to press into the toes to roll the body forwards into your high plank. Okay, so in high plank, we want the shoulders directly above the wrists, the thighs super strong, and the energy pushing through the heels. Engage the core, suck in through the lower belly to lift the hips to almost the same height as your shoulders. Looking down to the mat between your thumbs, gently lower the knees down, tuck the elbows in as you take the chest towards the floor and forwards between hands. Exhale as you go down. Untuck the toes. Press the hips into the mat. Inhale as you roll those shoulders away from the ground, leaving the lower ribs just touching the floor. Again, tuck those elbows into the ribcage. Exhale as you lower your head. Tuck the toes again. Press into the hands, come back onto the knees. Draw in through that lower belly as you take the hips up and back to downward facing dog. From here, keep the hands where they are. And just step the feet forwards a little, just maybe 3 or 4 inches. And really begin to focus on your breath. 5 breaths here. Spread the fingers nice and wide so that your second and third fingers are the ones that are pointing forwards. Pressing strongly through the hands, stretching back the hips and the spine. And allowing that space just above your hips to sort of dome in as you breathe, drawing in through the navel. Last breath here. As you exhale, look forward towards the hands. Inhale, engage the core, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the right leg forwards and then follow with the left. Inhale, halfway lift, extend your chest forwards. Soften the knees, scoop the belly in, folding deeply, let it go. Engage the core, press into the feet. Inhale, sweep the arms above your head. Bring the palms to touch, strong thighs. Exhale, bring the hands to your heart center. Another one. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Soften the knees. Exhale, swan dive the body forward. Lower the chin. Bring the weight into your toes. Lift the tailbone. Inhale, halfway lift. Extend the chest. Exhale, hands to the mat. Stepping back to high plank. Tuck the elbows in. Modifying again, coming onto the knees if you want to. Otherwise, exhale all the way down. On top of the toes, inhale, baby cobra. Roll the shoulders up and back. And then pause here whilst we hover the hands off the mat. So as you hover the hands off the mat, you're drawing your shoulder blades together. You're raising hands as high as you can. You can keep them into the rib cage or you can take them out to the side. One more full deep breath in here. Keep lifting. And as you exhale, take the hands down, tuck them into the rib cage, tuck your toes, leading from your navel, scoop the hips up and back to your downward facing dog. Leave the hands where they are, but adjust the feet, bring them forward slightly. Really push through the hands, you can stretch the spine, push the ground away from you, relax the neck, gaze towards your navel. Allow your navel to curve in. Breathing into the sides of the lungs. Breathing into that space between the shoulder blades. Last breath as you exhale, look forwards. Draw in through the core. Right, left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, step it forwards. Follow with the right. Bring the feet together. Inhale, halfway lift, gazing towards the top of the mat. Exhale, belly in, lowering down, folding deeply, chin to chest. Engage with the core. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, bring hands to the heart center. Nice strong core. Sun salutation V. Bend the knees now. Sweep the arms beside you and then raise them up to the ears. Inhale. As you exhale, swan dive the body forward, lower the head. Inhale, halfway lift, extend your chest forward. Exhale, stepping or jumping back to your high plank. Tuck the elbows in, exhale to lower. Untuck the toes, inhale, pressing all the way into upward facing dog. Strong thighs, press the hands and the feet, tops of the feet into the mat. Exhale, lower the head, tuck the toes, scoop the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Engage the core. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the right foot forwards. Rounding down through the back foot. Inhale, warrior one. Arms by your ears. As you exhale, bring the whole body down. Hands to the mat. Step back to your high plank. Elbows tuck in. Exhale to lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Engage the core. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it forwards. Rounding your back foot. Inhale, all the way up. And then exhale, start to come down. Hands to the mat. Stepping back, high plank. Elbows tuck in. Low plank. Exhale. Untuck the toes, inhale, upward facing dog. Beautiful, well done, roll those shoulders back. Exhale, tuck the toes, lower the head, lift the hips, down dog. Adjust your feet and come back to the breath. 5 deep breaths here. Okay, finding that length through the core. So the legs, firm your thighs, and the knees are soft. The tailbone lifts up to the sky as you send your weight towards the back of your mat, and allow the heels gently to melt down to the earth. There's no obligation for the legs to be straight or the heels to be flat to the floor. Last breath. As you exhale, soften the knees, look forwards. Inhale, stepping or jumping the feet to the top of the mat. Come straight forwards into your halfway lift. Exhale, belly scoops in, folding deeply, soften the knees. Now, returning to your chair pose, squeeze the thighs together, lower your hips. Inhale to sweep the arms by your ears, beautiful. Exhale, straighten the legs, bring the hands down. One more sun salutation, okay. Engage through the core, I'm gonna watch you to go through this. Bend the knees, lower the hips. Inhale, sweep the arms to the ears. As you exhale, scoop the belly in, folding deeply, lower the head. Let it all go. Inhale, halfway lift, extend forwards, lovely. Exhale, hands to the mat, core engages, step back, high plank. Now, I'm trying to watch your elbows. Exhale, tuck them in as you lower all the way down. Untuck the toes. Inhale, upward facing dog. Open the heart, lovely, look up to the sky. Exhale, lower the head, tuck the toes, engage the core, scoop the hips up and back, down dog. Core remains engaged. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step the right leg forwards. Ground your back foot. Inhale, come up, arms by your ears. Inhale all the way up. And then begin to exhale all the way down. Plant your hands to the mat. Step back to your high plank and lower. Tuck the elbows in. Really feel those elbows on your rib cage. Inhale, upward facing dog. Toes point back. Firm your thighs. Exhale, lower the head. Tuck the toes. Lift the hips from the navel. Well done. Left side. Engage the core. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it forwards. Inhale, raise the arms up all the way, nice and slow. Nice, slow, long in. Exhale as you bring the hands down to the mat. Step back, high plank, elbows in to lower. Exhale all the way down. Beautiful, well done. Toes point behind you. Inhale, open the shoulders, upward facing dog, great. Exhale, lower the head now, tuck the toes. Belly scoops up and back to downward facing dog. Good. Well done, everyone. Okay, relax those shoulders a little bit. Take the shoulders away from the ears. Find width across the chest. And remembering that external rotation of the upper arms. Feet hip width apart. You shouldn't really be able to see your heels tucked behind your toes. Just make sure the heels are tucked in nicely. Last full breath here. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, soften the knees, look forwards. And then inhale as you step the feet towards the hands and come straight into your halfway lift. Continue your inhale. And then as you exhale, scoop the belly in, folding deeply. Right, now we're coming into chair pose again. So bend the knees, lower the hips, squeeze the thighs together, draw the belly in. Inhale, back to your chair pose. Stay here. Shift your weight back into your heels. Make sure you can see your toes. Keep squeezing those thighs together. And drawing in through the navel, tuck the tailbone. Maybe you can bring the palms to touch. Imagine you're holding a beach ball between your hands. Take your gaze to the back of the thumbs. One more breath here. Draw the belly in. Inhale, straighten the legs and bring your hands to your hips. Heel toe your feet to hip width apart. We're coming into a forward fold here. Keep the knees soft and allow them to bend as much as you need to, okay? The other option, if you want to, is to take a strap underneath your feet, but I quite like to practice without. There's less fiddling about. So, hands to your hips, draw that navel in, inhale, lift your chest, look up. As you exhale, soften the knees, folding all the way forwards. Take your peace fingers, take them in between your big toe and your second toe and hook them underneath the big toe, thumbs on the toenails. Draw the belly in, inhale, look forwards like a halfway lift. And then as you exhale, scoop the belly in, bring your chest towards your thighs, tuck your chin at the crown of the head, pointing towards the floor. Bend your elbows and point them behind you. And then use that connection between hooking your fingers under the big toes to just pull yourself down with the inhale. Okay, be kind to your body, work within your boundaries, and just encourage yourself to deepen into the pose, slowly and gently. And as you allow the weight to fall forward into the toes, you'll feel that your tailbone and your hips lifting, encouraging the legs to lengthen and your chest to draw further down. Good. Really nice, everyone. I can see you're focusing on your breath. Last full breath here. And then on the next inhale that you take, look forward and extend the arms, halfway lift. Exhale, pause here, and then draw your hands to the knees. Hands to the hips. Chin to chest, draw the navel in and roll yourself all the way up to standing. Lead with the navel. Bring your shoulders and your head up last, and then bring the feet together, hands down by your side. Okay, we're then going to step back with the left foot. So soften the right knee and step as far back as you can with the left foot. Okay, we're going to come into Warrior One. We're going to work our way through the warriors. So Warrior One is a posture that we have in the sun salutations. And we want to really have your feet about arm's width distance away from each other. But also the feet quite wide. So my front foot is sort of between the middle and the outside of my mat. And that's where the back foot is too. The back foot is pointing at a 45-degree angle over to about 10 o'clock. So we've got that width in the feet. And this is important to remember when you're coming through your sun salutations, is you don't want the feet on the same line, because that makes it really hard to balance and it makes it really hard to bring the hips square with the front of the mat. So we take that right foot out and the left foot out. Lift your hips up towards your rib cage, tuck the tailbone, bend the front knee so it's over the ankle. Then your left hip is going to, and your left rib cage, you're going to turn towards your right knee. Engage through the core, shoulders above the hips. Inhale, sweep the arms over your head by your ears and gaze to the back of your thumb. Okay, the back leg is strong, so we're pressing strongly through both feet. And your back knee is turning to point in the same direction as your back foot. Good. Maybe you can deepen your pose a little bit, come a bit further down. Lovely. Bringing those left shoulders, left ribs, and left hip forwards towards your right knee. Great. Well done. Another breath here. Inhale, lift the upper body. And as you exhale, we're just going to adjust the back foot. So we're going to open the arms, bring the right arm forwards and the left arm back. And then we're going to shift the back foot so that the heel turns in a little bit more and your toes are pointing out. And the back foot is parallel with the short edge of your mat. So the front knee remains the same, but the back foot is changed. And now we need to just check that the shoulders are above your hips. Engage through the core, so tuck that tailbone under, lift your hips up, Maybe slightly lean the shoulders back as you gaze down your front middle finger. Now the weight, we transfer the weight into the baby toe edge of the feet so you can lift your heel arch slightly. And maybe we can deepen this pose so that the bottom of your right thigh is parallel with the floor. Good. Well done, everyone. 2 more breaths here. Really stretch the arms apart and feel like you're pressing down on something with your hands. Maybe you're pushing down on a beach ball or something. So we've got the engagement in the arms. Lovely, lovely, really nice. Well done, Diana. Well done, Lindsay and Rebecca. Great, last breath. Big inhale, draw the belly in. Exhale, take the hands to the hips. We're going to turn towards the front of the mat now, lifting your back heel. Engage through the core and fold your whole body over your right knee. And then as you engage through the core, maybe we can hop that back foot forwards, or maybe you can come straight forwards into warrior 3. So take it nice and slow, and maybe you can lift that back leg, bring your hands to your heart center, coming into warrior 3. Don't worry if you need to take a little hop forwards. Maybe you need to hold on to something for support or come into warrior 3 against the wall, whatever you need to adjust, that's fine. So keeping the core engaged, extend that left leg away from you. Imagine you're pressing that left foot against a wall. The toes point down into the midline of the body, midline of your mat. Then have a little softness to the right knee. And with the arms, there are options here. You can keep them in prayer at the heart center. Option 2 is to extend them behind you so they point towards the back of the mat. Or finally, a third option, you can bring them by the ears pointing forwards. Really, there's no wrong or right. Find your balance. Bring your torso parallel with the floor and draw in through the lower belly. The hips and the shoulders are level. One more deep breath here. And as you exhale, bending the right knee slowly, bring your hands to the mat, step the left foot back, and then the right foot coming into your high plank. Again, readjust your high plank. Make sure we've got our foundations correct. Firm your thighs, press into the toes, bring your weight forwards over the hands, and then tuck the elbows in and gently begin to lower yourself down so that your elbows are above your wrists, all the way down to the mat. That's just something that we just did called chaturanga, which is what we would use in the sun salutations instead of transitioning down through the knees. But you're also welcome to continue using the knees. Untuck the toes. Inhale, raise the shoulders, upward facing dog. Good, well done. Big deep breath. And then as you exhale, lower the head, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Readjust, find your breath, find your alignment. Engage through the core now. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it to the top of the mat. Ground your back foot by turning the heel in and the toes out. Make sure the feet are wide so the heels aren't crossing over. Engage the core, press into the feet, come all the way up to your warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Remembering the back toes pointing out towards 2 o'clock this time, and the knee also pointing towards 2 o'clock. You're then going to draw your right shoulder, your right ribs, and your right hip towards the left knee. Arms by your ears, tuck the tailbone, strong core, gazing to the back of your thumbs. Maybe you can deepen the pose. Bring your weight down into the front foot. Good. Send that breath deep into the lungs. Draw that lower belly in and the lower ribs connecting. Good. Take an inhale, stretch up. And as you exhale, open the arms and then adjust your back foot. So we're bringing the heel in and pointing the toes out to the side. The alignment here of your heels is generally heel to heel as well. Some people bring them heel to front heel in line with the back heel arch, and that's fine too. This posture is opening the hips. So align your shoulders above the hips. Lift those hip bones up towards your rib cage. Maybe gently lean those shoulders back and feel like you're pressing down on something. Gazing down your front middle finger. 2 more breaths here. Well done, everyone. Inhale, stand tall, engage the core. Exhale, release the hands. Come lifting onto your back heel. Lift your back heel, turn to the front. And then we can bring the hands to prayer or keep them to the hips, your choice. Slowly lean all your weight forwards. With control, maybe you can just lift that back foot gently off the mat. Coming into your warrior 3. Engage your core, engage your backside. And maybe extending the arms behind you, in front of you, or remaining in prayer. Okay, so we're looking for your torso in line with the floor, your back leg parallel with the floor, extending out behind you. Wonderful. Great. Very focused. Well done, everyone. And then from here, wherever your arms are, bring them into prayer position. Again, in the heart center. Soften the left knee. Lower yourself gently. So you step back with the right foot. And we're going to lift your whole body up and turn to the middle of your mat. So we're going to turn your toes in and your heels out. Okay? So you're pigeon-toed. Make sure your heels are on the same line and they're aligned. And take your hands to your hips. Engage through the core, so draw that lower belly in, tailbone points down, lift up through the chest, look, gaze to the sky. As you exhale, bring your chest forwards and down, bring the weight into your toes and the hands down onto the mat below your shoulders. From here, press into the hands, look forwards, halfway lift. Scoop the belly in. As you exhale, bring the crown of your head towards the floor and walk your hands back. Maybe you can walk them back so that they're in line with the feet. Maybe you're still on fingertips, and that's fine too. Do what you can. If you've got your brick, you can also place your brick in front of you so you can rest your hands on the brick too. Whatever you do, just maintain the flow of your breath. And if you've got your elbows bent, just make sure that they're pointing behind you. Allow the weight to fall into the toes so that the hips and the tailbone lift. Good. Well done. The legs are strong, but the knees are not locked. They're soft. Final breath now. Engage the core. On the next inhale that you take, look forwards, extend the chest. And as you exhale, walk your hands towards the front of the mat. Again, and then gently lower down onto your knees. And cross the legs at the ankles and gently sit down. and take a seat. Well done. Extend the legs in front of you. Really nice, lovely practice, everyone, and super duper balances. I'm so proud of you guys. You've all come so far. Great. So extend your left leg out in front of you. I'm going to mirror you. And I didn't mention this at the beginning, but you might need your strap now. Silly me. But if you haven't got it, don't worry, not a big deal. We can work around that without any problems. Oh, no, I can't see my head. So extend that left leg out in front of you, bend the right knee. Bring a space between your foot and your thigh, and really hug that right foot into the body, nice and strong. You can hold it in place with your left hand. Press through the sitting bones, sit tall. Bring the right arm inside of the left knee, or inside of the right knee, my mistake, and then reach it as far forward as you can. Just try and reach it even beyond your toes. And you can take that left hand behind you to help reach that chest forwards and down. And keeping that knee, that right knee, hugging into your armpit. So keep it nice and close. Okay, use your belly to draw you further down, forwards and down. Then you're going to turn your thumb down and your palm out. So your knuckles are pointing towards your toes, so the toes here. And then we're going to bring that right arm back against the right knee. Now that might be enough for you. And if that's the case, you can stay here. Keep pushing that right arm against the shin. You can even bring your fingertips to the mat to help bring that chest forwards and down. This left leg, always keep it active and strong, okay, because that will help draw you forwards and down. If you're thinking you're not moving anywhere forwards or down, just try engaging your abdominals, engage your navel area and see if that helps. Now from here, if it's available for you, you can take that right arm and wrap it behind you. And then with the left arm, maybe reach it behind you to take a bind. If not, don't worry, and this is where the strap would come into it. If you're not far away from reaching those fingertips together, you can get the strap. Staying here. Couple more breaths. The important thing is that your knee is hugging in towards your body, your right toes are pointing forwards, and the edge of your foot is parallel with the edge of the mat, so the heel isn't turning in. And you can press down through that right foot to bring you forwards a bit more. And don't worry if that right sitting bone lifts off the mat. Final breath here. Do what you can. Engage the core, inhale as you lift the chest, and then gently exhale, release. Good. So we'll extend and keep that right foot where it is, and then just bring it a little bit closer into your thigh, so the foot and the thigh are next to each other. Sit nice and tall, and then wrap your body around that right thigh, sort of smooth it and hug it into that right thigh. Your right hand is going to come behind you pretty close, so that you're pushing into the ground to lift up through the spine. Big inhale here. Draw the navel in, help with your twist a bit more, and then you can take the left arm to the outside of the right knee. Okay. It's really important that the back hand is close to you, because if you're further apart, you'll find that your spine starts sinking down and collapsing. So we want it nice and close to sit tall and take your twist, gazing over that right shoulder. Again, remember that left leg is active. That left leg and your navel will help you twist a little deeper. Breathing all the way down to the sitting bones. Last breath. And then as we take an inhale, lift the chest and look forwards, and then gently release. You can extend that right leg away from you now. Maybe shake out any tension. And we're going to work on the left hand side now. So extend your right leg away from you, bend your left knee. So with the left foot, again, make sure it stays in line with the edge of your mat. And that heel coming as close to your sitting bones as you can. And there's a nice gap between your foot and your thigh. So your right hand can hold onto the shin. Bring your left arm inside the knee. Make sure that left knee is nicely hugging into your rib cage and into the armpit. Left leg active. Firm that left leg. Okay, you can take your right hand behind you, pushing you forward as you reach that left arm past your toes. Flip the palm so the thumb faces down, and then sweep that left arm back. Okay, if that's enough for you, again, stay there. Draw your chest forwards and down, engaging the core, or you can place the fingertips to the mat or to the floor, pushing yourself forwards a bit more. Allow the hips to tilt forwards. If you can, wrap your arms behind you to take that bind. Roll the right shoulder back and the left shoulder forwards, gazing towards the right big toe. Try bringing both sitting bones, or the right sitting bone down to the earth. 2 more breaths here. Keep focusing on your breath, drawing you deeper into the pose. On the next inhale, look up, lift the chest, pause here to exhale, and then gently release. So now we're going to bring that left foot into the thigh, then wrap your upper body around that thigh so we're nice and snug. Okay, you can really hug that knee into the body. So kind of you've already done quite a lot of the twisting by drawing that body and tucking it around your thigh. Take the left hand firmly onto the ground as you push yourself up. You can draw the body around and almost like try and hook your left ribs around the right thigh. Inhale, sit tall, and then lift that right arm up and then to the outside of the knee, gently pressing into the knee to help draw you round. So you really want your left rib cage to be hugging the right rib cage to be hugging around the left thigh. And the left arm supporting you, sitting tall. Take your gaze over your back shoulder. I know you're bound and you're tightly twisting, but try and breathe really deep and keep that right leg nice and strong. The navel draws in as you breathe. Good. And on your next inhale, sit tall. Gently unravel and come back to center. Pause to exhale and then gently soften out of the pose. Good. Well done. So after we've done some twisting, let's come into an inversion. So we'll come into bridge pose. And if you want to, after that, you can either come into shoulder stand or just legs up into the air. Okay, so bend your knees. Bring your feet flat onto the mat. And gently lower your back down. Okay, from here, roll the shoulder blades underneath you and roll the arms under too. So you're almost beginning just to lay on your arms. Make sure you can just about touch your heels with your fingertips and the toes are pointing forwards. Shoulder hip width apart. Draw the navel in towards your spine, engage your core and inhale as you lift the hips up. And then take the arms under a little bit more. And you can continue pressing the arms down into the mat to help lift up through the hips. Or you can interlace the fingers, rolling the arms under a bit more. Keep pressing your arms down to help lift up through the hips. And then push the shoulders down into the mat. So you're lifting up through the chest and bringing that chest towards your chin. Good. This is a great stretch for your hip flexors, which run across the tops of your hips at the front of your hip. Just be mindful the knees stay in line with your hips. And when you're ready, gently exhale to lower. If you've got any tightness in the lower back, draw the knees into your chest, release that tension. And then we'll set up for a second repetition. So when you're ready, return the feet, roll the arms underneath you, draw those shoulder blades towards each other, engage through the core. On the inhale, raise your hips. And from there, tuck the arms under again, pressing the arms down into the mat to lift up through the chest and the hips. Pressing into the big toe mounds. Keep those knees hip width apart. And remember the glutes, okay? The muscles in the backside, in the bums, cheeks, are engaged, but not so tight that you could crack a nut between them. Just engaged and strong. Gently exhale to lower. Okay, so once you've released that tension, I'm just going to talk us through the options for the next posture, the next part of the inversions. Now, if it's not within your practice, or if you're not feeling comfortable or not quite ready for a shoulder stand, that's absolutely fine. I appreciate that doing it at home is always best to be more careful. But if you're taking the another option, then you can place the hands underneath your hips and then gently engage the core to take the legs up into the sky. Again, from here, you're still going to get just the same benefits as if you're in a shoulder stand. We still get the same benefits of the blood returning back to the upper body. If you are coming through shoulder stand, then what we can do is engage through the core. You can take your hands to the mat, engage through the core, lift your feet over your head towards the floor, and then tuck the shoulders underneath you, and then tuck the elbows underneath you. Walk your hands up your back towards the ribs, supporting your back, and then slowly extend your legs into the sky. Now, it's important here that we allow the weight to come into the elbows. So shift your legs back so that they are stacked above your hips, and the weight is away from the back of your neck. Whatever happens, don't move your neck from side to side. And really feel like you're pressing your shoulders into the ground, engaging through the core to lift your hips away from the floor, pointing the toes up to the sky. Firm your thighs, really squeeze the legs together, but the legs are strong. 2 more breaths here. If you're laying with your legs into the air in the gentle position, then you can move the legs wide into a V shape as something as a variation. And then if you're in shoulder stand, engage the core gently with control. Lower your toes over your head towards the floor. If they reach the floor, just gently tuck them under. And then feel like you're pressing the shoulders into the mat to help lift your neck off the mat. Reaching your hips away from the ground. Firm your thighs and engage through the core. Keep supporting your back with your arms, with your hands. 2 more breaths here. And then, if you're in plow position, gently bend the knees. Keep the toes together and bring the knees down by your ears. Or perhaps just place the knees on the forehead. But keep lifting those hips away from the floor. Breathing as deeply as you can. Last breath here. And then if you're in ear pressure posture, slowly bring your legs back into shoulder stand, support your back, and then gently, with control, lower your hips down to the mat. And everybody lowering the legs down. Bring feet to the mat. And then take your hands and place them underneath the buttocks so the elbows are out to the side. Then we're going to extend the legs away from you. So straighten the legs and your hands are underneath your buttocks. And then we're going to lift your chest up. So press your head into the floor and then tuck your elbows underneath you so that you're lifting your chest away from the floor, but you're allowing your head to drop back as you look over your head towards the top of the mat. Press through the elbows to open through the chest as you come into your fish posture. Okay. This is the counter pose to your inversions. Good. A deep breath in here. And as you exhale, lower your head to the floor, untuck your elbows, and gently relax. Don't strain the neck to pull you up, just allow the head to drop back. Good. Stretch the arms to either side of you. Bending the knees, allow the knees to go to the right and take your gaze to the left. Allow everything to start releasing and letting go. Good. Soften the breath. Engage the core and inhale as you come back to center and swap sides. Allow the shoulders to relax, the hips to soften, and your breath to settle. And then finally engaging the core, come back to center and make yourself warm and comfortable for Shavasana. Stretching the legs either side of the mat. Allow the hips and the thighs to relax and the feet to gently flop out to the sides. With the upper body, snuggle the shoulder blades underneath you and draw the shoulders away from the ears. Allow the arms to naturally fall out to the sides of your body. And notice how the fingers begin to curl in. Create length at the back of your neck by drawing the chin subtly towards your chest. Close your eyes and allow your breath to wash over the body. Every breath you take, encouraging the body to relax a bit more. Notice the arms feeling heavy. The chest feeling heavy. The hips feeling heavy. The legs feeling heavy. And the back of the head feeling heavy. Begin to bring your awareness back, gently making small movements with fingers and toes, and gently moving the head from side to side. Take a big, deep breath in as you float the arms by your ears, taking a full body stretch. And drawing the knees into your chest, give yourself a hug. Allow the body to roll to the right hand side. Pausing for a moment of stillness. When you're ready, return to a seated position. Once seated, sit tall with good posture like we did at the beginning. And take a moment to observe the mind and the body. And to honour the practice we've shared together today, bring the palms to touch, moving them to the forehead. May all your thoughts be peaceful. Lowering your hands to your lips, may the words you speak be peaceful. And finishing at the heart center, may your hearts be truly peaceful. Namaste.